Now I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the feelings and things that I went through growing up here. I was so concerned about adapting and becoming I think it got to a point where I completely forgot India and tried to throw myself and become very involved here. Maybe it's self-identity. I don't know what it really was. I had my Eagle Scout at a very young age, and I think I ended up getting like 50 or so merit badges. So very involved. When I was in 6th grade, I mean, here I am, only been a few months or a few years here. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was had to prove myself, or maybe I was trying to prove worth to everybody else. I was in student council in elementary school, and then in 7th grade, I was the president of the 7th grade. And all this time I was playing soccer, I was swimming, and I was wrestling. And I think looking back, I'm very grateful for my parents. They had me active and very involved. But between the 7th and 9th grade years, the teenage years, I think I went through a little bit of a metamorphosis, you could say, and I started going into the dark side. My mother used to always say to me, Taj, you're like a little volcano that's ready to erupt, because I would never allow my emotions to come up. I rarely cried, and I stopped talking about India. And so I remember in 8th and 9th grade, I actually ran away from home a couple of times. Once was in the winter time, and I ran over to a buddy's house and slept in his trailer. Outside trailer, it was freezing. And then I, came out of it. I went into a sophomore and a junior, and I remember a lot of feelings of, I would say, inadequacies, particularly in my dating years. Something happened in junior year. I decided to run for student body president. And again, I think maybe that was that part of wanting to be accepted. I had no desire, really, but I just did it. And ended up winning and being a student body president at Mountain View High School. Somewhere, though, along the line, after being there for a couple, in a senior in high school, something happened with my parents and I, and it just blew up, and I did become the volcano, and it just erupted to a point where I actually ran away from home as a senior. I want to say it was about middle of November, and I went down. I lived with a group of college kids in Silver Shadows. I went out. And I think it was I just had no clue who I was. I really didn't. I worked at the Movies 8 down there. I was a ticket taker to pay for the housing. And then I would wash dishes at across the street from that. There was a restaurant right there.
So you graduated from high school?
No, I'm still in high school.
Okay.
I'm still in high school.
Same high school?
Same high school, Mountain View. I bought myself a little motorcycle, and here it is, winter time, and I'm commuting on a motorcycle so I can graduate. But I'm working at night, and I'm working on weekends so I can pay for my food and all that.
So you were totally independent then?
I was totally independent.
Did you have any...
My father was a teacher at biology at Mountain View High School. He never saw me. I never saw him. He tried, but I was, defiant. And so from I want to say November, December, January, February, March, I lived there and commute back and forth. My grades, of course, started to slip because I couldn't keep up with that and playing sports. I was the varsity soccer and swimming. I dropped out of wrestling because I didn't want to deal with my dad. And they were, I should have gone to state in swimming, but of course I didn't do very well. But somehow in April, my father and I, through someone else and my parents, we came back and we culminated, made up, and I moved back home.
What was there a tipping point, or what was it that caused the eruption? Can you remember?
I do remember. I was going to a dance with a female. I want to say it was homecoming, so it could have been even earlier. And my parents said to me, Taj, you have to be home at, I think it was by 12 o'clock. But here I am, president, and the one who's responsible for putting everything together. And I'm the one who's supposed to be cleaning up and all that. And I tried to explain that to my parents, and my parents said, no, the rule of this house is you have to be home at 12. And of course I didn't come home at 12 because it was my responsibility to clean everything up. And I came home and, it just got to a point, it was, my mother and father were frustrated that I didn't obey the rules, and that's what caused it.